today I am here with Carley Winn, who's going to showcase for us another great Harley Quinn cosplay. So what do you have for us today?
So this is what I would have worn in the Pride Parade if all this COVID stuff wasn't happening. I wore it in the last 2 years with the Intergalactic Alliance. So this is my Pride version of Harley. I got a lot of rainbows and sparkles. And usually I skate, so I have my pads on too.
Oh, okay. And so did you make this? Did you buy this?
No, I bought this, but see, I bought it from a place in Cambridge. Gosh, I should know the name of the place because the guy's very LGBTQ plus friendly. And I bought I mean, you can buy these, like these on eBay. And the socks I got, oh look, the green goes away. The socks I got at Garment District, which is a costume place in Boston. Great Eastern Trading Company.
Great Eastern.
That's the place. That's where I got this. Made a lot of other sparkly like stuff and a lot of like Pride stuff, and they're a cool place.
Oh, okay. So it's a corset, right?
Yep, it's a corset. And it's got all these like sequins on it. And it's rainbowy, so I thought it was perfect for Pride. And then I have my Harley bra. So this outfit's a little less than I usually wear, but it's for Pride, so.
Oh, okay. So I've heard different things about corset issues. Corset meaning like what I mean by corset issues is like some people have trouble trying to find one that fits, or they're worried about it being too tight. Is there any tips or recommendations you could give about corsets?
So if you're making a corset, so this one's got plastic boning. Plastic boning like digs into you, and eventually it bends, and it gets like bends in it, and then it'll like fold into you. So there's like metal boning you can get, and it's stronger, and it depends on kind of what you're doing with the corset. But there's like I've seen metal boning that's just straight metal, and then I have some metal boning that's like a wire kind of knit together, and it gives it some flexibility, but it's not going to do what the plastic does, which is buckle, and it saves like a bend. So eventually it starts like cutting into you, and also the bits on the bottom, they can start poking into you too. So I guess that's something. This one also, it doesn't have any ties. This one just kind of has like a bra back to it. So for fit, I was lucky that it fit me because I got it in consignment. But yeah, like I don't know, like people who sell corsets, they definitely can fit it to you and get you a good idea.
Okay.
Making corsets is kind of complicated, but following the pattern, I don't know. You figure it out.
Okay. Was it difficult researching about trying to buy the pieces for your Pride Harley Quinn outfit?
It was difficult to find things I liked, but this just, I don't know, it just came to me. Like, it was like, oh, there it is. I bet I could use that, you know? So it was more luck than anything. And then it matches the socks I found at Garment District. It's got the same blues and rainbows to it. I wanted something rainbowy, and DC hasn't made a Pride version of Harley yet, and I don't know why. There's no official version.
That is weird. I
think that they would.
Okay.
But,
and do you feel that comics are doing a good job in presenting that? Do you feel like they're portraying her fairly with her sexuality?
So yes and no. I think, so it's kind of a complicated thing. So right now in comics, they've split up Harley and Ivy. And I think that it's because DC doesn't want any couples. Like, didn't they split up like Superman and Lois and like Batwoman and her wife? Like, I think they've been splitting all their superheroes, and they've got some sort of edict about like superheroes not being in any stable relationships. Like Batman and Catwoman weren't able to get married either. Like, I remember hearing something a while ago, and I don't know if they've changed that, but they're definitely doing it to Harley and Ivy because they were together, and right now they're currently apart, and they're apart in like a bunch of their continuities. It's kind of interesting, like how it got that way.
Oh, okay. And is there something more you'd like to see with Harley concerning that from comics? Do you think there's still more work to be done?
Yeah, I think they should bring them back together. Like, it's silly. Like, I don't know. Maybe they're trying to create drama. in the cartoon show, I know that I haven't watched the latest episode, but they're sort of, I feel like the overarching plot is to try and get them together and then they're going to end it. But it's like really frustrating to watch, being like, we don't get to enjoy seeing them as a couple. We're just seeing sort of like how they maybe got to be a couple, but they weren't there yet. At least when I watched last, I think they're gonna get there by the end of it. But and then like in the Harley and Ivy series that came out, which is right after Crisis, they had again. I don't want to be too spoilery because that's a newish comic, but it's been out for a couple months now. But they ended it with Harley and Ivy again split, and then the Amanda Conner series. She's not. I guess the Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Conner are writing the Birds of Prey, and in that series again, Harley and Ivy they were a couple. They got in a fight and are now apart, and it's like, why are you doing this? In Injustice, Harley and Ivy, a couple. And they decided to pull them apart again too, and Ivy's on the other side of Harley.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Are not kind of fun, but they made them a couple in there. I think they might still be a couple, but who's to say? DC keeps pulling them apart. Come on.
Yeah, I'm not sure why DC Comics, or actually most comics, Marvel does this a lot too. That they don't do like doing couples, and that's a problem. My problem with that is that stories have to evolve, and I think the problem with comics is that the companies is that they want these characters to live forever, but they can eventually. Because personally, for myself, I stopped reading Marvel because I felt like at a certain point there needs to be some sort of growth, but they're not, like with Peter Parker and Mary Jane being a famous example, where they were together, they were married, and now they're apart. And I felt like that to me was like, I don't want to start over again. I'm tired of reboots. I want a continuation of the stories I like, and if there's an ending to it, so be it, you know. But I don't know. That's just
like Cyclops and Jean, like they were together. You could see that they were gonna have kids in the future, and then they pull them apart and they put them with White Queen, and it just
yeah.
They're like Cyclops and Kitty, or Colossus and Kitty, and they almost got married, and they decided not to get married. But then they put Gambit and Rogue together, and they got married. Are they still married? I don't know. I haven't seen anything recent. Hard to say because X-Men keeps hitting the reset button. So.
Okay.
In Batgirl, they had like way back. So that's in the 90s when they had that comic for the animated series. So they were implying, like Batgirl implies that they're a little more than just friends, and Harley kind of puts it off. And then there's the Harley and Ivy comic that comes out like way later in the 2000s, written by Paul Dini, and he's implying a little stronger that they're a couple. But again, it's not quite there yet. And then in Sirens, at the end of it, Harley implies very strongly that she knows that Ivy loves her, and that's why she's caring for her all these years. But there wasn't until and Sirens is like right before they do New 52, so that's like way back. But so they haven't had an official relationship.
Okay.
At this point. And it wasn't until Volume 2 of Harley came out, so that's the Amanda Conner and Jimmy Palmiotti, and that's when they really pushed that relationship. And so in the second issue of that comic, so we're talking 2014, that's when they're finally like, they a couple. You know, that it's no confusion there, like, they're a couple, Harley's into women and men, she's into everybody. And it starts out very like, people weren't always on board with it. At the time, a lot of people discussing it, they were like, is this like a lipstick lesbian thing where they're just trying to be like, oh, girls together, that's hot? Or is it like gonna be something for real? And it took some time. So over time, it was that comic, and then they had, I was looking at the timeline for this, so like 2016 is when Injustice and also Bombshells, they finally make them like an official couple. And they actually have a kiss. Oh my God, they're kissing. So that's when they really, pushed it. And then in the Harley Quinn comic, they really like show that relationship. So it's really recently that they've, 2014, it's 2020, it's only about 6 years old, that relationship. So it's interesting to think about that they kind of like had that relationship there, maybe like they wanted it to happen, but nobody could be open about it. And then more recently, they were like, no, we're going for it. But then again, very recently, they decided in Crisis and in Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey, and was the other one Injustice, that they decided to break them up again. And in the cartoon show, they're not having them together. So it's frustrating. We only got a couple years of them actually being a couple before DC ripped them apart again. But who knows? I think it's like in the world lexicon. Like everybody knows it. Everybody wants Harley and Ivy together. Like, nobody wants Harley and Booster Gold together, please. Or like Ivy and Kite Man. It's just no.
I sometimes wonder if it's it looks like Dan Didio, when he was running DC, he seemed to promote that more of Ivy and Harley more together. And now that AT&T owns Warner, which owns DC, I'm worried that they may trying to how should I say it, take that back. That's my worry.
Really sure how it's gonna go. Yeah, and I don't know if Dan Didio really. I have scruples about him being that he okayed like that New 52 Suicide Squad change to begin with like that Jim Lee version of Harley and the like with the red and the blue hair and the like boosted. Like I'm in a corset, I shouldn't be speaking, but I mean that was a really revealing corset, all open like this. How do you do anything in like I don't feel like I can do any gymnastics in this outfit. So I don't know what they were thinking with that outfit. At least their current one, it moves. It's not that warm. I love the classic outfit. It is comfortable and wonderful, but not when it's like 90 degrees like we are currently living. Then it's like, okay, yeah, shorts, t-shirt, shorts, and some kind of top. Like I get it. That's comfortable,
Okay.
and you can still move. Corset, not so gymnastic-y. It's okay for me when I'm skating, but because I'm not doing a lot of bending, but it's not great for for crime fighting.
Okay. All right. Well, again, thank you so much. What are you working on next?
Honestly, still doing masks because COVID. It's the world we live in.
Yeah. Okay.
I wanna work more on my Birds of Prey jacket, the ribbon jacket. I started doing that. I want to work on I want to work on Breaking Glass Harley. I love that comic. It's wonderful. More people should read it. It's that comic is so good.
Okay.
I don't know
Okay.
if you but that would bring us off topic.
All right.
That's a topic for a whole nother day. I could talk about that forever. That's a great comic.
We should. I know you talked about it to me last time, and that sounds really intriguing. Let's make that maybe for the next segment.
Yeah, maybe I can finish that cosplay for it then.
Okay. Oh, true. All right, excellent. So, thank you very much, and thank you, our viewers, for watching, and have a great day.